Hello, I'd like to welcome you to our course in mentoring in the spring semester of 2019. I'm Scott Headley. I'll be your instructor, and I'm really looking forward to working with you. I'd like to introduce the course by giving you a brief graphic display of how I view mentoring generally, and you might think about this as a way of organizing how you might think about mentoring as you move forward with doing the assignments in our course. So we're going to start with the individual person. And in this case, that person could be you. It could be a colleague, a family member, someone you go to church with, perhaps a student who's preparing to enter into an academic program at a university, or someone in the workplace who's trying to improve his or her communication skills, technical skills, or leadership skills. But we'll move beyond the individual person and look at some of the purposes or the reasons why mentoring may be important. So we'll move from the individual person and what their aspirations are and look at a particular context which is often considered in mentoring, what the current professional role is, your current professional organization, or perhaps a community role, organization, group, family, or congregation that you're a part of. Mentoring can certainly take place within this context, and you may have a desire to improve your skills or your knowledge in doing your job, your current job, or looking for opportunity to do that job better within your organization. Or perhaps it's a community role that you're serving in some capacity in a community organization, maybe a family group, a hobby group, it could be your local congregation, and you have a desire to grow in your capacity to deliver in that role, and so you might seek out mentoring. But oftentimes people look not at their current professional role or organization. They may be looking at a future professional role, organization, or community role and view mentoring as the opportunity to grow in their capacity to demonstrate to a future employer or a future colleague in a new role or new organization that they have the not just the willingness, but the abilities and the capacity to deliver in that new role. Mentoring can certainly play a role in helping you or any individual determine if they're prepared and ready to go or what might be lacking in their ability and skill to take on this new role. But one final aspect of mentoring that I think is important to consider is what I like to call the aspirational aspect of mentoring. I think you'll be fascinated as you read the first couple of chapters in our text that adult learning is about expanding our worldview, expanding the opportunity that we have to understand ourselves and to understand the world around us. And in some regard, mentoring can be especially effective in this aspect if we're willing to learn and grow, and sometimes that requires a little bit of work and a little bit of pain. Because as we begin to learn more about ourselves and the world around us, we recognize that we want to be a different kind of person, have a different worldview or a different perspective than we've had before. Change can be difficult. Mentoring can help get us through that change. So we may have aspirational goals related to values that we hold, our own character and how we want to develop that, spiritual development, or some aspect of service or leadership that we would like to personally carry out that really has nothing to do with our professional or even community role, but more about who we are as a person. And again, I believe mentoring can be effective in helping us learn and grow in all three of these levels that I've described here in this brief graphic. I'm hoping as you enter into the course, reading the book and beginning the assignments, that you might use this simple model as a way of thinking about what your purposes are individually and how you might benefit not just from learning how to mentor, but to realize that becoming a mentee yourself and allowing others to mentor you can be a very important way for you to gain knowledge, skill, and alter your disposition.